All right, folks, we are back with another special interview. This time we are interviewing Jake Boyle from Caleb and Brown, coming from Australia. Jake, how are you doing today?
Very well, enjoying a summer's morning in Australia. The summer's kind of stretched out into the autumn now. We're getting 100-degree days still, so I can't complain.
Oh my goodness, that is cooking. And I wish that the crypto markets were as cooking as the weather out there. We've had some volatility, and we're going to talk about that. But I'd reached out to you and Jim after the big Bybit situation unfolded, and you guys responded right away, giving us a lot of feedback. But I wanted to have you guys back on for a show so that we could really break down kind of what happened with that situation. Massive, massive hack. I think it was the largest hack that we've ever actually had in the cryptocurrency space. And so this led to the biggest liquidation event in the history of crypto, the February flush out, as I'm calling it. We have survived it. Things are looking up. So we're going to talk here in this interview about the Bybit situation, the differences between some of these other platforms and Caleb and Brown, how they do custody a little bit different. We're going to get your market insights, and then we're going to hone in a little bit more on the services that you guys provide and what folks can be thinking about as we head into the next phase of this bull run, taking profits. How do we effectively do so? Managing our different relationships with exchanges, with brokerages like yourselves, and with other platforms that we're going to use to conduct our trading this bull run. So I'm really looking forward to this situation. First off, can you just give us the rundown of this Bybit hack? What exactly happened here?
Yeah, so the month of February was quite brutal for the market. We had the Bybit hack, we had a 10K Bitcoin candle, followed by a complete retracement with altcoins and the rest of the market following. It was a good month to spend some time away camping or get away and enjoy some fresh air because you didn't really miss out on much if you did. The Bybit hack was scary. It is correct. It's the largest hack in crypto history. Credit where it's due. The CEO of Bybit, within hours of the situation, was live streaming on X. He was posting directly what the updates were, and thank God the company has the integrity and the resources to be able to fill that 1.4 or so billion dollar void. Now, what happened there was it appears to have been a compromise and an exploit by North Korean hackers, which aims to target the process of which large sums of crypto are transferred from the cold wallet to the hot wallet. So with these large exchanges, they don't have tens of thousands of customers. They have millions and millions of customers. And the hot wallet needs to have liquidity readily available for the facilitation of trades, withdrawals, deposits, and everything that comes in between the functioning of a large exchange, particularly one the size of Bybit. As a result of that, they do need to move very large sums from the cold wallet into the hot wallet. It looks like the process had malicious code entered. So when one of the transactions was signed, it routed the Ethereum to a wallet which was not the one that it was intended to go to. Now, there's a bounty program that Bybit has financed to help retrieve and lock some of the funds. Fortunately, in 2025, the ability to freeze cryptocurrency assets if they land on centralized exchanges is a lot greater than what it was back in the day. But the bottom line of the situation there was that it was a stark reminder of some of the old sayings, not your keys, not your coins, which I actually encourage clients to consider and understand because even us as a business, whilst we are a custodian, we can custody assets. We don't make any money from it. It doesn't benefit us to do that. So if every client had perfect custody in their own hardware wallet, I would certainly encourage that. That's a situation there, and certainly a stark reminder that a lot of these exchanges have colossal vulnerabilities at the scale that they're operating.
Yeah. That was one of the things that I noted right after this came out. You guys provided a really nice, short educational video on self custody. And it's like you don't really see this from other exchanges. And obviously, you guys are a brokerage, but for you guys, it doesn't help your business when we hold our crypto in cold storage, right? But the way that I've always done it, and many of your clients probably do it, is our long-term holdings we have buried in the backyard, or as we put it on the cold storage and the other devices, we have it in a safe spot. But then for our trading, we have to have a relationship with somebody. And I've always told my audience, it's nice to have a few different options because each one of these platforms is going to bring different levels of service, products, and offerings. And I've been very impressed. Really, nobody else that I've seen is offering institutional grade custody to clients with less than $1 million. I mean, some requirements are upwards of $10 million to get institutional grade custody. And so, can you speak to the custody that you are providing for all of your clients?
Absolutely. So on our end, when a client has an account with Caleb and Brown and they're sending XRP, Bitcoin, Chainlink, whatever the case may be, we trade hundreds of different tokens. When they send that across, the coins will arrive in isolated cold wallets specific for that account. So if they have an LLC account and a personal account, they'll be completely itemized, segregated wallets for each. From that point forward, any trades they want to execute, we use our own liquidity to execute. And then once the trade is completed, we can then settle and tidy up the accounting of the transaction by moving the client's coins out of that wallet. But they're not exposed to the market in the process of which we are trading them. So if a client sends XRP and has a limit order at say, let's say $4 for argument's sake, we can place that limit order without moving their coins out of their unique cold storage vault because we have the liquidity and the relationships with over-the-counter trading desks to be able to ensure that trade will get executed without their coins having to move. Now, we don't make any money on custody. That's the really critical thing here. It actually would be significantly more convenient for our business if no customers left any of their coins with us, if we had absolutely $0 in custody, because then we wouldn't have to spend millions of dollars a year on our custody solution because we wouldn't need to do so. The amount of money that gets spent on cybersecurity, on internal developers, on risk departments, on third-party software integrations with the likes of Fireblocks and all the ways that we can extend the security of that, it becomes a very costly endeavor. We do that because we started in 2016 and we're being so exposed to the vulnerabilities of the space. We've unfortunately seen so many clients fall victim to social engineering, various scams in the market, accidentally giving someone their private key to their ledger over Telegram chat. We've heard all these stories before, right? So we want to have that as a safety net to say, hey, if you aren't confident in your own self-custody, we've got something really good for you that is very rare to give to people at a retail level. And we're happy to pay for this because as a company, morally, it just sits better with us to invest in the custody solution. But if you are confident in your own custody, well, we're not making any money from it. We're not staking your coins. We're not lending your coins. There's no yields involved. We lose money by having to build these facilities. So if you want to use it, go for it. And if you don't, then that's completely fine.
Yeah, and if I could just circle back for 1 second, because I forgot to ask this. From my understanding, the hack was an exploit that was, tied to a smart contract on Ethereum. Is that correct?
I believe so. So I
Right.
believe that there was a contract of which multiple parties were signing for, and that contract would allow the movement of over $1 billion of Ethereum.
Yeah.
And the exploit was able to penetrate and adjust that contract such that it looked benevolent, but in fact, it was actually distributing the output elsewhere. So I'm sure it's very complex in the finer details, but the process ultimately was a pretty colossal compromise.
And the reason why I bring this back up is to mention that even if you're the CEO of Bybit, right, he's the one that did the final signature on this multi-sig wallet. It's very easy to fall prey to some of these things. Now, thankfully, on the XRP ledger, we don't have to worry about that yet. We are going to get some smart contracts later this year, and I'm excited for the XRP DeFi. Right now, this isn't too much of a concern on the XRP ledger, but it goes to show that even if you're a seasoned investor in crypto, you can make a mistake. And I got to be honest, Jake, when I look around at all the platforms, I cannot find a better platform than your guys's to send new people who don't want to do self custody, who don't want to be in control, who don't want to have to worry about this. Caleb and Brown seems to be the best solution that I can find to direct our community towards.
Yeah, I think that what we try and offer as a product is one which is tailored to the needs of that particular individual. So we're not looking to have millions of customers and a completely automated solution that just, sign up, get an account, figure it out yourself, and I wish you all the best. If it doesn't work out, here's a support ticket that we may or may not reply to.
Yeah.
That's just not the kind of business we're looking to have. So I find that a lot of people from your community and a lot of clients all around the world, some of them really understand how to use a Trezor, for example. Some of them have absolutely no clue what crypto is, but they want to diversify their investments. They want to get exposure to this exciting, nascent, volatile asset class, right? And both of those clients are more than welcome to embrace this industry and have accounts with us. Our job is just to say, well, hey, these are all the resources that we have. This is how we work. And if that suits you and that can benefit you, like let's do business together. And if it doesn't, then we wish you all the best. And hey, you've got my phone number. So if anything changes or you just want to run an idea past us, reach out. So on the custody side, we simply, when someone gets an account with us, they see, hey, I can actually store my coins with Caleb and Brown. We'll have various articles. They can speak to their personal broker about precisely what that custody solution is and how it's not a hot wallet on an exchange, but rather a tailored cold wallet, itemized client by client, coin by coin. And then with that benefit of that information, they're just more informed to make the decision that best suits them. And sometimes that means, you know what, I might actually leave a little bit of my crypto with Caleb and Brown because this market is insanely volatile. And if I want to take a quick profit on a nice green candle, I just want to make sure the coin's there. I can put down a stop limit or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, if you've been using a Trezor, a Ledger, or whatever wallet you're using for several years, and you're very security conscious and you're not pressing random links on the internet, if that's working really well for you, don't fix what isn't broken. That's my opinion there.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Now, I want to get into your market insights real quick before we go back into some of the other services that you guys provide. And I've just heard nothing but great things. And so we'll speak more to that too. And now that I've been a client of your guys' for a few months, I can speak more to my experience, which has been flawless really so far. But where are we at in this market, Jake? In your opinion, we've seen this huge drawdown on Bitcoin to 76,000, catching support, bouncing back up. Today in the United States of America, CPI lie comes out, as I like to call it, but it is coming down. So, despite that number probably being manipulated still, we are heading in the right direction. And so, maybe a little bit of a shift here, and potentially the Fed has justification to cut some rates and maybe ease things up. Are you expecting us to head into a little bit of a continuation of the bull run here soon? This is my analysis, but I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, so there's so many variables that are going to impact whether we go up or down in this crypto market this year. We obviously experienced the Trump pump of him winning by a landslide in the 2024 election. That carried forward through the months of November and December. And then obviously we've entered the new year and the market has just been humbled in many respects with a whole variety of variables pushing that. Personally, when I saw the CPI numbers last night for me in Australia, before going to sleep, I saw, oh, thank God, the numbers that are being reported are less than what was expected. Hopefully, that's not priced into the market and we see a bit of a rally. I went to sleep and the market was actually starting to rally. I came up and it just went straight back down. Woke up, it was straight back down again. So, yeah, I should have just slept in instead in that case. I think that there are macroeconomic indicators which will always drive volatility, namely the interest rates, things like CPI. Those indicators I have found were huge in 2024 for judging the movements of the market. But in 2025, they don't seem to be making as much of an impact. Like the market really didn't move that much in the last 24 hours, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things. Much is the case with the SEC headlines. All of 2023 and 2024 was plagued with SEC issues Wells notice, SEC investigation into XRP, whatever the case is. Those were the headlines that were causing markets to tumble, get suppressed. And then on the flip side of it, when Gensler said he was going to resign, and when the SEC started dropping these cases, the markets rallied. But that was last year. This year, if the SEC mentions anything about crypto, investors don't seem to care anymore. It's like, oh, that's old news. We're not interested in those headlines anymore. So personally, I feel that crypto is probably more tied than ever right now to just the broader basket of risk on US tech stocks. And we're in a situation where if we see Tesla up 10% tomorrow, for example, I'd be extremely surprised if the crypto market did not mirror that gain. And much like if Tesla's down 10%, the crypto market will experience the same. So I think that I am still optimistic for 2025. I don't think this is, the bull market is over. We're crushing to oblivion now. Not at all. I just think that like all bull markets, we go through these periods of mass greed and mass fear. Now we're in a period of mass fear where people are getting liquidated because they got too greedy on their leverage trades. People are panic selling because they think that this is the end. When practically speaking, geopolitical conflicts may be looking like they're on the horizon of being resolved. The tariff warfare should, if that stabilizes and gives us more of a clearer picture as to what the future is going to look like, and that allows investors to be more risk on, and inflation numbers are down. If we have lower interest rates, of course, and we can have more liquidity injected into these markets, there is definitely a scenario where this bull market continues and does significantly better than what it showed in November, December. It's just when you're right in the middle of the red candle, it's very difficult and it feels like almost a courageous act to even suggest that a bull market will continue. But that's my take right now.
Yeah, and that's the camp that I've been in. When I read through all of my comments, and all of them are bearish, it's the end of the world. That's when I start to get a little bit excited, right? And the main point that I've been bringing up to my audience over the past few episodes is I said, guys, they wiped out all of the leverage in February. So the market makers don't have as much of an incentive to push us down much lower. They're not going to be really, liquidating anybody. Right now, the way to get mass liquidations is actually to push XRP, the levels up to about 240 would be the max pain point, it pushing out and wrecking the shorts. And so I just don't see the incentive to push us much lower. And I said, we probably aren't out of the clear just yet, but it looks like we may have formed the bottom on XRP at least, and then Bitcoin may have just hit its bottom too, or at least we're very close. But like you said, we still, Trump can put out one tweet, the market can fold. Today, like you said, Canada did respond with some tariffs again, and I think that was the main driver that brought us back down. We had the rally after CPI, and then Canada said, "Yep, we are going to slap on some more tariffs," and so then the market gets shaken up once again. I don't know if your country, Australia, has been giving us a fair deal, but we might have to take a look at you guys over there too, Jake, and we might have to hit you with something. I'm just telling you. So please
Yeah.
prepare accordingly. No, um, but like you said, it's a very fragile market. But can we speak real quickly to the fundamentals that just continue to get better and better? I mean, Franklin Templeton, $1.5 trillion asset manager, joining the ETF race yesterday. Can we speak to the fundamentals that just continue to get better?
Well, just like you put it, the fundamentals continue to get better. We have an administration which is embracing cryptocurrency. There's no Operation Choke Point 2.0 where every crypto entrepreneur is going to be debanked and treated like they're a terrorist or whatever the case may be from a regulator's perspective. We're embracing new technology. The US is clearly positioning itself to be the dominant leader in cryptocurrency innovation, while Europe waits around and lets bureaucracy kind of run the race and like, give all the opportunity to America, right? So things are actually looking great. The Wells notices issued by the SEC are just day after day, they're coming down. The strategic reserve, whilst it only at this point in time seems to be the makeup of retaining seized Bitcoin, that is still good news because it was only a few months ago that we're thinking, oh, is the Biden administration going to dump all of Ross Ulbricht's seized Bitcoin? It's good news because that is not sell pressure hitting the market. And it also looks as if there might be talks in a future about, hey, well, how can we actually gradually acquire other cryptocurrencies and, of course, Bitcoin within this reserve? That's great news. Overall, the sentiment is bad, but the fundamentals are good. And it's just a byproduct of human beings being particularly greedy and wanting their bags to 10x in a week when the reality is that a good, healthy market has these drawdowns. Fundamentally, I think things are actually great.
Yeah, and we're building a new floor price at about $2 for XRP, which after trading for years at 25 to 50 cents feels amazing. I know for a lot of
Exactly.
new people coming in, it's a struggle, but final point on the SEC, we just got the scoop from Eleanor Terrett, who says that she's got two confirmed and well-placed sources saying that the SEC versus Ripple negotiations are about to wrap up and we're about to see this case conclude. So, I mean, you're probably seeing the same thing that I am. The fundamentals continue to get better. ETF liquidity is on the way. And before we get the ETFs, most likely this case is going to be concluding with the SEC here shortly. Now, my question to you is, Jake, do you think that the case conclusion is priced in? Because I don't. Some people are suggesting that it is, but off of the comments that I'm reading and the sentiment that I'm reading, there's still a lot of people that are really not appreciating the fact that the end is near. Maybe we have a little bit too much suffering in the XRP community. We just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel anymore. But to me, I don't think that this is priced in. But your take?
Yeah, I don't think it's fully priced in either. I think there'd certainly be a lot of people who are buying now on the basis of expecting that news. There certainly has been a lot of buy volume on that prediction. That being said, I do think that the headline in and of itself will move the market, so it's not completely priced in. But critically, the headline and the change and the complete severance of that whole SEC era for XRP, what that will bring about in terms of opportunity and runway for more institutional products to be built around the cryptocurrency, that is going to be the big. So it's never the case of we're going to get one headline and that's either going to pump us or dump us to oblivion if it's already priced in. It's more so, well, we have this headline, but fundamentally, it's now a better playing field for the cryptocurrency. So now it means, all right, well, what does the ETF market look like? What do institutional adoption look like? What do the actual ability for people to function and use the token look like? Because right now, so many individuals, companies, whoever the case may be, is not very empowered to embrace technology and make investments into coins like XRP if their risk profile suggests, hey, there's still this SEC matter. Maybe we don't touch this and maybe we just focus on Bitcoin, for example, or Ethereum, or whatever the case may be. So I definitely don't think it's priced in. I think there'd be a lot more positive to come in
Yeah.
the event that that will get settled up.
And have you been keeping tabs on kind of the XRP DeFi? We've been getting new amendments. Now there's a new proposal for smart escrow and smart contracts. It's going to take about a year to fully roll out and be implemented after they go through all the testing. But just your thoughts on the XRP DeFi. It looks like it's going to be a DeFi explosion. And really, to your point, the institutions will have these tools. They'll be the same tools that retail can play with. But when you start to have the institutions coming in and tokenizing real world assets, it's looking like a great setup for XRP DeFi later this year.
Yeah, I mean, all in DeFi is one of the sectors of the cryptocurrency market that I'm personally most passionate about. At the end of the day, when Celsius and major centralized lenders went down in the collapse of FTX in that period of time, you will note that Aave and Maker and all the major decentralized financial lenders were operating business as usual with very fair operations and very fair business agreements between the two parties utilizing the platform. You really can't knock it, frankly. So I think that anything that results in more decentralized finance in the space and embracing other ledgers and blockchains to be able to do so is a good thing. Obviously, the rollout of RLUSD provides other tokens in that framework, which can be used in several different ways to embrace decentralized finance technology there. I also think that XRP has such a strong and ginormous community of millions of people around the world that bringing DeFi into the fold through XRP will ultimately bring them into DeFi. Whereas a lot of people might have reservations around Ethereum as a token to invest in, which has been a terrible performer in the last year. But because of their reservations of Ethereum as an investment, they might not be interested in exploring the utility of the Ethereum blockchain, which actually has some really practical and good things, like I mentioned Aave before. So I think it's often the case where the cryptocurrency itself won't attract the audience, and therefore any decentralized applications built on it will just, no one's going to be open to hearing about it. So I definitely think it'll bring more people into the market if we have DeFi through XRP as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, folks know that I'm getting ready to conduct my XRP exit strategy, taking profit on not just XRP, but my other cryptos as we continue on in this bull run. And I've explained with my audience why I've decided to put some XRP on your guys' platform, right? I have a couple other exchanges that I use, but I've sent you guys some XRP and I plan on sending you guys some more XRP because I want to give myself multiple options for finding liquidity when this bull run continues and we look to execute those trades. Now, I've already had good success. I sent some XRP there. I think I sent you an email because I should mention that Jake is my personal broker too. And the thing I like about your guys' platform is for somebody like myself, I can do it myself if I want to place. I've already placed a couple limit orders, but then I've also, sent you an email and just said, hey, can we send some XRP or can we sell off some XRP here? And then also after I sold it off, I asked you to send, some of that money back to me. And I was really impressed. In one day, you guys were able to get that cash into my bank account after I took some profit on some XRP this bull run. So I just wanted to provide the context, guys, of what I am using Caleb and Brown for right now. Primarily, it's for executing my XRP exit strategy, and I love the fact that you guys have no withdrawal fee and no withdrawal limit. Now, what I
Yep.
wanted to talk about with you here, real quick, Jake, because this can apply to everybody. What we want to do is provide good educational content. Whether or not you use Caleb and Brown, you should run through this exercise of basically seeing how much you're actually going to be able to put in your bank account if that's your plan is to
Yep.
cash out some crypto profits, send money to your bank account, because I think that some people would be surprised to see how much actually lands in your bank account after you get hit with your trading fee, after you get hit by slippage, after you might hit a withdrawal limit, after you might get added on a withdrawal fee. This can really start to add up. And so, can we explain the Caleb and Brown fees and how trading on your platform really works?
Yeah, so we work with clients one-on-one, which means that if we're working with a client, we want to tailor our service to suit their needs. If they're doing larger trades, we want to make sure that we say, hey, this is what the fee is going to be on this transaction. It's black and white over a phone call, over an email, text message, whatever works best for you, whatever world of communication suits you best, we'll make that work. Now, from that point forward, we like to embrace transparency where we say, look, we have the trading facilities, we have full-time traders working 24/7. We're going to get you the best price possible. Our fee on this trade is going to be, let's say, $200 for a random example of a trade a client's doing. If we say the total cost of this is not going to be a dime more than 200 Australian dollars, US dollars, Canadian, whatever the case is, then the client knows what they're expecting. They know we're getting them the best price and they know, all right, well, this is the fee that I'm paying. What we don't like is saying, oh, we have a fee which is like $3 on this transaction. But then we have a dynamic spread, which generates $250 in fees. And then the market slips, which gives some inefficiency to the client and gets them a worse off price. And now you're capped with withdrawal amounts, and we're going to charge you a $20 withdrawal fee for every $5,000 you withdraw daily. So by the time you actually get the money out, you probably paid like a 5% fee or something like that. We prefer just being really transparent. And then that way we can just work with clients directly to make sure it works. If a client says, hey, I'm looking to do this ginormous exit from the market, speak to your broker, negotiate your fees. We can make it work. We can look at the tokens you're looking to trade. Are they liquid? Are they illiquid? Are you using US dollars as an exit, or are you using a currency which is maybe a bit more costly and tricky to get into? They're the variables that your broker will discuss with you. So that way everyone's on the same page and it's just simple old school business. I really can't stand this idea of dynamic spreads, 25-page terms and conditions, breaking down all the ways that a company can effectively monetize you without you knowing about it. I just would like to, if I'm going to meet someone for dinner or catch up with them in person, I want to know that we're on the same page with how we're working together. I don't want it to be like this grand secret that, oh, we actually made an extra $1,000 on the side over here. So I just encourage people to have those conversations and organize calls with their brokers, discuss their exit strategy and say, this is what I want. I want to get 500,000 US dollars in my bank account when I sell my XRP or whatever token it might be. This is a bank account I have. Get your bank details across early. Do a test transaction so we can put our money where our mouth is. And that way, if the trade doesn't work well when it's $1,000, then don't use us when it's $500,000. And
Yeah.
if it works well for a grand, then maybe the next trade is 20 grand. I just think that's a cleaner approach.
Well, that's my plan, Jake. And that's exactly what I did. Is I did a test sale on a few different platforms. The experience with you guys was flawless. And then, like I said, I didn't expect you guys to get the money to me in a day, but you did from Australia. The Swift system, maybe it's getting an update or something. I don't know. But I
We
really do appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you. We're fortunate because of the nature of our business as a brokerage, where we're able to get bank accounts that are not really that accessible for the majority of cryptocurrency businesses. So because of the nature of our operation, we're viewed quite favorably by more particular banks around the world because we don't have millions and millions of customers. We have a smaller subset of around 40 to 50,000 customers, which are higher value per customer. And as a result of that, we're able to get accounts with banks in Switzerland and Liechtenstein, the United Kingdom, all throughout America, and of course, Australia. And what that means is when we say, hey, we don't have withdrawal limits, it's because if we're having an issue with one bank today, that's fine. We have liquidity with another bank and another bank and another bank and another bank. So that way, if a client says, hey, I need 17 million US dollars and 4 million euros sent to two separate accounts, well, we just can get that done straight away. No different to if it was a $100 withdrawal.
Yeah. And really, guys, I mean, you can hear how we ran through this for the beginners who don't want to do custody and deal with any of it. Caleb and Brown is a perfect solution. For those of you guys with big bags, and I've talked to some people recently who said, "Hey, we got some XRP to move around. Is Caleb and Brown going to get the job done?" And I said, "Yes, this is a perfect solution for you because you're planning on cashing out quite a bit. You need a platform that's going to work with you. You can negotiate that fee with them. You can, set up a business relationship with them, and they're going to help you execute your plan. And so, whether you are new in this game or whether you're seasoned with quite a large portfolio, Caleb and Brown is an option I think that everybody in our community should at least consider. Like I said, I keep my options open, but I've really been enjoying my experience so far. After we get off this call, this is reminding me that I do need to send some more XRP to you guys. And then I need to go back to the XRP meme coin trenches and go make some more XRP. So I
Yeah.
have even more to sell. But Jake, any final notes here on your guys' platform? Anything else that people should know?
I think that while the market is a little stagnant, a little uninspiring, it's probably the best time to, if you haven't actually had a proper phone call with your broker in a one-on-one private capacity, use the downtime in the market to organize that now. Or if you have an account and you're like, yeah, I'm going to get an account, but it's pending. I just got to upload my driver's license or whatever it is. Trust me when I say you're better off you want to get your accounts verified, test trades done, really get to know your broker and understand the service. Ask all the private questions that you need to. No one else in the world needs to know about it. You can have that conversation with a professional broker who's worked with us for several years, as an example. Get that out of the way because the last thing you want to do is be in a market where things are moving 25% a day and the floodgates are open and everyone in the world wants to get into crypto. And you're thinking, oh crap, I never actually figured out which platform I'm going to consider. I never tested them out because the last thing we want is someone panic calling us saying, how do I send XRP? I need to send 100,000 units. We're thinking, oh my God, like, let's get your account complete. Send a small amount first. Let's slow it down a bit. So I just think we don't want to be rushing and risking error in a really volatile market. So when the markets are down is the best time to get educated, have those phone calls, those email exchanges, and then you'll just feel at complete bliss when the market is volatile.
And it's completely free to set up an account. And the
Yes.
only jurisdiction I know that you guys aren't offering services is the UK right now. Is that correct?
Yes, the UK, unfortunately, we can't onboard clients from there.
Okay.
And any countries which are sanctioned.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have any clients from North Korea or anything of
Okay.
that sort. And then the state of New York, unfortunately.
Okay.
But otherwise, otherwise all is good.
New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Jake, I really appreciate you coming on here today. Like I said, guys, highly recommend them. Really appreciate your support. When you use the link, which I'll put right in the top of the description of this video, right down below, obviously you are supporting the channel and we greatly appreciate that. But I think that you guys are going to be thankful that you get connected up here and establish a relationship with Caleb and Brown. I've been very pleased myself, and I'm really looking forward to finishing off this bull run with you guys. We're going to see you in XRP Las Vegas too, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll be there.
Yep. So thanks again, Jake. Everybody on the way out, if you guys could help us out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide, we would greatly appreciate that. All of my resources are available at zachrector.com. And at the top of this one, we'll have the Caleb and Brown link. Get in touch with these folks, completely free to set up the account. And thanks again for coming on today, Jake.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Until next time.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thank you. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.